4:30 in the morning. I was up late watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Just finished that, and then I was like kind of on a high, and then at I guess 2:33 in the morning I got hit with major anxiety over things I've forgotten to do and things I should be doing. And so I figured I would take you guys on a walk and discuss a little bit about that, because, well, I can't sleep anyway, so. We're ready to go. I'm transporting my tripod with me. Got my AirPods and my money in case I want to grab a coffee at 6 in the morning. It's fucking early. Cat's gonna want to come in. There she is. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Out into the peacefulness. It's already really bright. Thought it would be a good time to kind of discuss a little bit. I'm gonna go on one of my famous, well, you don't know this about me, but I typically go on really long walks around here in my neighborhood, because there's a beautiful, well, as you know this probably, waterside, and I've always loved walking here. So I'm doing one of those. Just always love waking up and doing my 2-hour walks in the summer. It's kind of my thing. I've been doing it for years. Sometimes I do it with podcasts, typically about when I get one of my stress episodes, which kind of is the topic of today. So I'm just gonna walk a little bit, and when I can get set up probably, or if ever I want to discuss something at a certain point in time, I'll talk about it. I just kind of had a panic attack, which kind of prevented me from sleeping, so I wanted to talk about it. Sort of document it too. It helps me to look back on my episodes of stress and kind of analyze them and see what I can do to make myself feel better in the long run. I'm gonna hold you this way. Hopefully the visual will be better. It kind of forces me to look in your eyes. But yeah, so I get panic attacks every so often, where I can almost feel them coming on. It's kind of like a sugar rush. I have like patterns of being like euphoric and feeling very depressed, very low and shitty about myself. The euphoric episodes are very short-lived in terms of like me being happy and extremely happy for like a small amount of time. So I'll find like a show I like, for instance, This Summer I Turned Pretty, and I'll be like in love with the concept, in love with the whole story, the narrative, and be kind of swept away by it and be really happy for a few days, maybe even a week. So that was the case for me. And then all my attention is on that, and I have trouble concentrating on anything else. So for instance, at work, I'm just not as present with my personal life. I'm not as present with anything. I'm not as present really. And so I get on these euphoric kind of drives, and it takes all of my attention. I can't focus, and I fall behind on a bunch of things that are important to me and that I know I have to get done, which is not a problem. You know, I get stressed out about these things, and typically when you're stressed and you don't want to do something and it's boring to you, you put it on the back burner because it's just not fun. And so these things get accumulated for me when I have one of those euphoric episodes, like times 10, because I cannot focus. What follows the euphoric stage is me feeling a ton of guilt about the euphoric episode where I've fallen back, like I said, on things I had to do. I just looked at the footage of me on this camera. I look hideous. I'm sorry, I apologize. Wait, let me just, wow, this is so pretty though. Like, I'm ugly. I'm looking really bad and rough, but the view is nice. Look at this shit. Anyway, moving on the topic, it's just like, so I've been really into, like I said, This Summer I Turned Pretty, and that's been my latest kind of point of obsession. And because of it, I've been focused mainly on that and not on the rest of my life. For instance, I haven't been thinking about work and my career progression mainly because it's painful to me. It's always hard. You guys know the history about this channel. I have always struggled to feel like I was myself in my career path. And sometimes when I'm in one of those euphoric episodes, it's like I can escape it, and sometimes it makes me feel rebellious against my job, even though I enjoy the place I work and I like the people I work with and I appreciate the opportunity and all of those good things. But then one of those rebellious episodes comes on where I'm euphoric and happy and I feel like so good, and it's like in my head I go like, fuck that, I don't like my job, I don't like this, I don't like that, and I'm just like, I get down about my reality, you know, because fantasy is so much better than reality. And so one thing led to another. I was late on like paying for something for my school. I didn't get my inscription to a program I needed to get inscription by a certain date. I haven't really paid enough attention last week on the work I was doing, and so I feel like I'm late on that. So I'm gonna spend all this Sunday trying to pick up the slack. And then I wanted to do a training on Excel, which I haven't done. And what else did I not do that I was supposed to do? I didn't pack my room. That's another thing that's really bothering me, is like the moving part where I'm not ready to move yet, and it's causing just a lot of anxiety. And like, why would I want to move anyway when you see where I live? Like, it's just so many things, and like, it's beginning to be a bit much for me. Like, too many things are changing, and you know, trouble with like relationships, close relationships in my life. And it's just like, I was thinking about all that when I tried to sleep, and it just like kept me the fuck awake, because it's like one bad thing after another. And then like, I'm 24 and I'm not a teenager anymore, and it's like, I loved the concept of being a teenager and having nothing to worry about. And yeah, it's just like, it's a little bit much, and I'm just having trouble coping with all of it. And so when I usually get into one of those anxious modes, I typically tell myself, is there something I can do right now about this? So that was what I was telling myself. Look at that. How pretty. That's what I was telling myself as I laid in bed, and I told myself, okay, yeah, there's something you can do. So I got up and I paid for my school thing. And then I looked at when I had to submit the thing for the order of the CPA, and I am thinking of a plan of how to make that work when I log on Monday. But then for moving, and then for becoming an adult and actually enjoying being an adult and not like pining for teenage years, that's another story entirely. I'm not ready for it. And I don't know how to get ready for that. So instead of being in my bed and like fucking being miserable there, I would rather come here and enjoy the time I have left in this beautiful place, because, well, I'm gonna miss just the way it is right now.